thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Good to talk to you.
All right, amazing interview. Lyndon LaRouche, right there. LaRouchePack.com. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com. Kurt Nimmo coming up. For the next 30 minutes, riding shotgun with me is the one, the only editor of Infowars.com, Kurt Nimmo. We're going to intersperse attacks on free speech, how the government is using hacker groups as a pretext to shut down freedom on the web in the name of protecting it. We got to take the freedom away to protect it because of the Stuxnet, which the government launched. That's coming up. And we're also going to get into Nicolas Sarkozy saying, go to hate sites, we're going to arrest you. And then this whole thing is a stage deal. We'll cover more of that after the break. But I wanted to talk to you first about Rush Limbaugh, Kurt. Rush Limbaugh made some mild statements compared to what Robert De Niro said about Mitt Romney's wife and others. Racist comments. He's making the joke about a woman who wants thousands of dollars in condoms and saying, man, you're a, such and such. And whether that's untasteful or not, I wouldn't say something like that. That's his free speech. Media Matters, whose memos got leaked, as you know, a year ago, said we're going to infiltrate media, alternative media, Fox, Rush, you name it, and destroy them from within. That's espionage. That's criminal sabotage. And it's George Soros financing it. And I'm on their radar. And I've always said this when Glenn Beck's behind the scenes doing stuff to us and other things. I said, look, guys, you better watch out because the globalists are going to blow stuff up and blame it on us. And then the memos came out where these White House advisors said, have an Oklahoma, blame it on the libertarian right wing. And people say, well, don't defend Limbaugh. He's not a real patriot. Whatever, the globalists see him in the same box. They're coming after us all. It's like Breitbart. There was evidence of him killing him. He was going after Obama. Doesn't mean I agree with all he's doing. There's evidence of him killing him. The point is the system is now ready to get rid of the fake right that they've been playing patty cake with. Things are moving fast, as you heard Lyndon LaRouche say, who you could call a classic American liberal system. He's certainly not a Republican. Now, we're about to go to break here, but Kurt, your view on them openly saying they want to destroy Rush Limbaugh. I mean, this is so authoritarian.
Well, they obviously set him up to come after us or come after the alternative media. I mean, he doesn't pose a threat to the system. He's absolutely right in their ballpark, actually, when it comes down to it. Part of the false right-left paradigm.
But if they can take him down.
They can take him down. They can set a precedent to go after anybody they want to.
And notice Sarkozy saying arrest people that visit sites they don't like.
Well, Sarkozy, France is a totally different deal. They don't have a Bill of Rights and a Constitution like we do. That's an interesting thing. The whole thing with what's going on in France is very interesting. They're now saying this guy they killed, the supposed terrorist, is a lone wolf.
Which it's always the lone wolf, always goes to a training camp, always protected, always known, and then dies. Yesterday, I said over and over again, I said, watch him die. In fact, I even said before he was in the apartment, I said, watch him die in a fake apartment blast.
Right.
They did the same thing in Spain, Kurt.
Yes, absolutely. With the Barcelona stuff, yeah.
We need to do a report.
Madrid.
Yeah, it was Madrid. We need to do a flashback on that.
Yes.
Now, the main reason I wanted to get you to pop in today, and we'll cover it when we come back from break, but start getting into this. Problem, reaction, solution. Anonymous promises to take down the internet, but you've gone and confirmed these are actually government operatives.
Well, we saw when the FBI supposedly busted Sabu, which was his name for the supposed leader of LulzSec, that he was an FBI informant. He's an operative. And he was giving orders to his fellows there to engage in this behavior.
And that came out in court documents, but they still burn their minions, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It does not pay to work for these guys.
No. You end up dead or in prison.
I mean, even if you were immoral, why would you want to work with a group that almost always burns its minions?
Well, obviously the FBI gave him what he wanted. He's, his ego and whatnot, and maybe money, who knows. And he's in a power position.
And you notice they always order these attacks through these groups right when they want to pass some legislation. It's like clockwork.
Yep, absolutely.
And now they're going to take the internet down. So now all of you good people that got onto the bandwagon in the name of Anonymous, now it's going to be associated with taking the web down.
As a matter of fact, Napolitano was at a conference today talking about cybersecurity. So, and when was that FBI thing? It was last week.
Well, they're trying to pass that to have the Pentagon totally take it over, which they've already done. They just want to announce it. Let's cover this in more detail straight ahead. Just got an idea, and I don't care if it draws down the ire and attacks of the globalist. Ted Anderson advertised some of my DVDs on Rush Limbaugh before. And the ad campaign barely paid for itself. But the mission was to get the films out. And I know this advertising is going to be a lot cheaper now that this happened. I'm going to advertise on Rush Limbaugh. Not my show, because they won't want that. I'm going to advertise a book, a film, whatever. I'm going to do a big advertising buy on Rush Limbaugh. And then we'll educate his kind of neocon, addled audience. And so it's a win-win-win. But I'm not going to let Media Matters do this. And I know we've got some big people out there listening. In fact, I may even tell some of my sponsors they should go advertise over there. Because, I mean, we've got to keep him on air now that George Soros and the globalists are openly trying to shut him down. Because they're bragging that they want to shut down all the libertarian conservative radio and web freedom. I mean, they're saying that's their mission. And even if I totally disagree with Limbaugh, I mean, he could be Keith Olbermann if they were trying to get him off. The only time I say take somebody off air is if they're saying take my liberties. If Limbaugh said, ban my guns and trying to take my... See, it is when people try to take your freedom, that's when they're the enemy. When they've got a view about some larger general issue, my point is boycotts are fine, but when you look at it not being a real grassroots group, but George Soros, I mean, this is despicable.
Well, didn't they just... It was yesterday they introduced a bill in California that's related to Limbaugh, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. They're people...
Speech bill or something.
They're talking about making it criminal.
Right.
I mean, that's what they want.
Right.
That's what they want. I mean, I've had these groups, because everybody knows I don't cover racial stuff on my show, and I'm for everybody. I actually get criticized by some because they get mad at the whole multicultural deal, and they go, Alex, that's really a racist move. And I'm like, I know, but I'm trying to get everybody to have freedom here. I've had groups go and do this before and try to manufacture what I've said. And I've had to get on the phone with affiliates and say, have you heard it? I mean, they'll take anything and turn it into something. They're out there after us, too. I mean, look, I'm on Media Matters every week. Limbaugh's on there every day. I mean, George, and they pose as a nonpartisan group, and it's come out, Kurt, they're run by the White House.
Well, will this eventually go to the Supreme Court?
Let me say that again. The White House is trying to kick Rush Limbaugh off the air. That's why I'm against it. Go ahead.
But this will go to the Supreme Court, obviously. But in the meantime, what it'll do would be a chilling effect on Clear Channel.
Well, it's not going to chill me, I'll tell you right now. And let me tell Clear Channel and local radio stations that I know carry a show that aren't Clear Channel owned, and I've told program directors, because they're like, man, this is scary. They're even coming after us. I go, you better stand up against this to these thugs trying to destroy our First Amendment. I'm serious. I mean, people are like, some radio insiders are like, hey, Alex, more stations are going to dump Limbaugh and put you on. I'm like, I don't want that. I'm on up against Limbaugh. I found out that Huckabee's kind of pleased, and they're advertising and try to get people to throw him off and put Huckabee on. That's despicable. Huckabee, who said he likes Obama and he's a good Christian man a month or two ago. He knows which way it's going. He's saying, give me Limbaugh's spot. I love Obama. I love Obama. Give me Limbaugh's spot.
What was Limbaugh's... I don't listen to Limbaugh, so I don't know, but what is his take on Romney? Was he for or against Romney?
He was back and forth, but he kind of liked Gingrich.
Yeah, right.
Hey, but here's my issue. I know I made you come in here today to talk about your story, and it's kind of like you're a good Ed McMahon. You just kind of add little points. But I might have you in here full time, Kurt. How would you like to be a co-host now?
All right.
All right, tell us about your big report. It's important.
Well, today I wrote a report on LulzSec and Anonymous. Anonymous is threatening to take down the internet on March 31st. By attacking the DNS servers, which are the domain names.
But the Pentagon has a bill to take that over right now. They'll keep it safe.
Right.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh.
But the whole point is these groups are ridiculous. They are supposedly political, but they don't do anything that's really political. They're a joke. I mean, the very name LulzSec is a take on LOL, laughing out loud. Laughing out loud security is the actual name of the group. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. So politically, they're nothing. They're non-starters.
Well, they do this stuff, they say, they try to brand hacking as it's just fun to wreck things to laugh, to get the LUTs or whatever.
Right.
But the truth is that's government trying to take it over and make hacking look bad. So they call it Anonymous. Anonymous does some good stuff. It's just random people. And then they demonize it with their own operatives who you've proven are FBI.
Right. I think they have a lot of useful idiots working for them, too, that actually believe this is some kind of political thing or the fun aspect you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a total, I think it's total, psyop just to demonize hackers.
Well, your report goes over that. What do you make of Petraeus saying, yeah, we're using all your appliances to watch you?
That's scary. Yeah, that was that Wired report that came out earlier in the week.
Yeah, I mean, he gave a speech and bragged, and people thought it was a joke, kind of like when the big bioethicist group said, let's start killing little kids even though they're healthy. Everybody's like, that's a joke, right? And they're like, no, we're going to kill them. But then I'm bad for reporting it, Kurt.
Right. Well, this whole thing, they want to put this so-called smart technology in everything, washing machines, televisions, the whole 9 yards. It's just part of the surveillance grid.
And then the data goes over your power line, so there's no hooking it up to a connection. Right. Isn't that great? By the way, I want to do a report on all this smart technology. I've begged Watson, because people think I'm joking about the government with grants. When police departments get Homeland Security grants, they go, yeah, here's this smart light bulb. By the way, here's a grant for computers. And the light bulb flickers and interfaces with a sensor and programs the computer remotely. Right. And when I say that, people think I'm joking. It's been in the Associated Press, but no one believes it.
Yep. Yep. And these drone projects they're giving police departments, they're all financed by the Department of Homeland Security. It's just a total integration of the federal government and the local police. And then it's a hidden tax. When you pay for a smartphone or you pay for a dishwasher, it's getting where you can't even buy the old ones that don't have the tech in them. So it breaks. There's going to be a big business in keeping the old stuff running. Or they have regulations now. Oh, can't have that. Right. Places can't fix it. I mean, this is Agenda 21. You pay in the cost of the item for all the back doors. And I saw an article in Wired again, and one in CNET, where all the back doors is why the iPhones and Droids drain so fast. I had a Droid and had to get rid of it because it would decharge an hour. Because all the spy stuff in the back. Well, now they're encouraging you to put all your data on their servers. It's iCloud business and stuff. Yeah, the cloud. Yeah, so... It's like, get in this. It's not really a cloud. It's more like a sewage tank. Get in the sewage tank. Right. That doesn't sound so fun. Hey, let's get into your report. I mean, we said it yesterday, false flag. Break down what happened with this Muhammad character over there. I mean, this is the classic earmarks. Well, there was a report yesterday that he was being followed by French intelligence, which is basically means that he's being handled by, just like Muhammad Atta and the so-called hijackers in Florida were being followed by the federal government and the FBI and the CIA. The same thing was going on in France. He was totally handled by them. And obviously the guy probably did think he was some kind of Al-Qaeda, bigwig going out doing a lone wolf thing for his jihad, but... Notice always the same thing. A lone wolf being handled by government informants. We know intelligence was all around him. He thought some of his friends were in French, were Al-Qaeda, really French intelligence. That's all being confirmed now. He's a lone wolf. Last guy that tries to beat Sarkozy, 10 points ahead, gets set up by French intelligence with a hooker claiming he raped her. Now it turned out that wasn't true. Now you've got Le Pen's daughter set to win. Now Sarkozy gets to look like a hero. He's getting a bump in the polls, and he's saying he's going to shut down nationalist sites that are supporting Le Pen. Right, absolutely. Well, the whole thing is a setup, too. I mean, look, the French elections are coming up. Le Pen was growing in the polls, and so they just pulled off a false flag. And by the way, that's just not us saying that. Here's the Financial Times of London. Sarkozy stands to gain most from what happened. Mm-hmm. And, remember, I said he'll be a lone wolf. He would have been trained at a camp or released from a camp. All that's been confirmed. You'll learn that intelligence was following him for years. You'll learn that people warned the police. Turns out that's in the news today. Right. Turns out, and he'll die. He'll die, which remember what happened in Spain. Remember what happened on the 333. Remember how it came out later. They just blew up some people in an apartment and said that was Al-Qaeda, and it turned out the police had done it. Right. Right, absolutely. I mean, that came out in the Spanish news. So it's always the same MO. Pretty much. Well, of course, they can't have this guy walking around talking and divulging things they're going to be used against the government in France. I mean, so obviously he had to die. Well, I was looking at all the photos of the French cops and watching the news. You got all these regular cop types out there, and you saw the guys in the black mask. Right, ski mask. You notice those weren't even special forces typed. I looked at those were criminal eyes. The guys they brought in to blow up whoever was in there, I mean, that's probably the guys that were doing the shooting. Well, they had armbands that said police on it, so yeah, they were with the police. But I mean, they look like something out of Central Casting for gangsters. Right. Absolutely. But I'm just saying, you could even see them next to the regular cops. I'm telling you, those weren't even special operations people. They were just criminals. Right, right. Well, it's interesting. Like I said, the timing, we need to look at the timing. It was right before an election. Why didn't this happen? Hey, we said day one that the Dominique Strauss-Kahn was set up. Turned out run by Sarkozy. Sarkozy screwed up and announced it before anybody even knew. Yeah. And then it turned out it was that he was under surveillance.